Hi everyone, welcome to English Today Journey. And hey, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy learning English in a simple and practical way.
And without the stress of maintaining lies. It frees us to act with integrity, make better choices, and grow as individuals. Over time, these practices shape not only how others see us, but how we see ourselves. They create a life that is authentic, meaningful, and deeply satisfying. So remember this. Honesty is not just about telling the truth. It's about how we live, how we speak, and how we take responsibility for our actions. And when honesty is paired with kindness and care, it becomes a tool for connection, growth, and lasting trust. It is both a moral choice and a practical way to live a better, more fulfilling life. Honesty is not just about saying the truth. It's also about how we say it. Being honest can sometimes hurt, even if our intentions are good. That's why it's so important to pair honesty with care, compassion, and respect. Saying the truth in a way that someone can actually hear makes all the difference. If someone feels attacked, they might shut down, ignore what you're saying, or feel hurt. But if they feel understood and respected, they are more likely to listen, learn, and grow from your words. There's a saying that captures this perfectly. Say it in a way they can hear. Let's look at a simple example to understand this better. Imagine your friend is practicing for a job interview and asks for your feedback. During their practice, you notice that they use a lot of filler words like, and they don't make much eye contact. You have two ways to respond. One, you could be very blunt. You sounded nervous, and you didn't look confident at all. That's honest, yes, but it could also hurt your friend's confidence. It might make them feel discouraged or even embarrassed. The second way is to be tactful and supportive. I can see you have great ideas, and it's clear you care about this job. If you practice cutting down the filler words and making more eye contact, your confidence will really shine. Both responses are honest, but one discourages while the other encourages growth. This is what tactful honesty looks like, speaking the truth with kindness, thought, and care. Being tactful doesn't mean avoiding the truth, lying, or pretending everything is perfect. It doesn't mean shying away from difficult conversations. It simply means thinking carefully before you speak. You consider the timing, your tone, and your choice of words. You ask yourself, why am I saying this? Am I trying to help or just prove a point? When your goal is to help the other person improve, your honesty becomes a gift rather than a weapon. It builds trust instead of damaging relationships. It supports growth instead of creating conflict. Reflect for a moment. Have you ever had to tell someone something difficult, something you knew might be hard to hear? How did you say it? Did you try to be gentle, supportive, or understanding? Or perhaps you've been on the receiving end of honest feedback. At first, it might have felt uncomfortable or even painful. But if it was delivered with care, it probably helped you grow, learn, and improve. That's the real power of tactful honesty. The key idea here is that honesty alone is not enough. Truth without thought can hurt. Truth with care can heal. Truth spoken tactfully helps relationships, builds trust, and encourages personal growth. It allows people to hear feedback without feeling attacked, and it lets the speaker communicate clearly without causing unnecessary pain. Tactful honesty is a skill worth practicing every day. It takes patience, empathy, and awareness of the other person's feelings. Over time, it becomes a natural way to interact, making difficult conversations easier, more productive, and more meaningful. When honesty is paired with kindness, thoughtfulness, and a clear purpose, it stops being scary. Instead, it becomes a tool for connection, growth, and understanding. It strengthens relationships, builds trust, and supports personal development. In the end, truth spoken with care is not just honesty. It is wisdom, respect, and love all rolled into one. Honesty can be powerful, but it doesn't have to hurt people. When combined with empathy, honesty can actually support and encourage someone. It can help them grow instead of breaking them down. Knowing how to be honest in a kind and thoughtful way is an important skill. But there's something we should remember. Honesty doesn't look the same everywhere. Different cultures value honesty in different ways. What seems honest and direct in one culture might feel rude, harsh, or disrespectful in another. This means that being honest is not always about speaking the whole truth exactly as it comes to mind. It's also about understanding how people receive it. For example, in many Asian cultures, people often prioritize politeness and harmony over blunt truth. They may choose softer words or avoid certain topics, not to lie, but to protect someone's feelings or dignity. This idea is called saving face. Saving face means respecting someone's reputation and sense of pride. It's about avoiding embarrassment for yourself or for others. Imagine your friend cooks a meal that doesn't taste very good. In a culture that values direct honesty, someone might say, "This is too salty." That is honest, but it might hurt the cook's feelings. In a culture that values saving face, someone might say, "Thank you for cooking. I really appreciate your effort." That response focuses on kindness instead of criticizing the food. Both responses are honest in their own way. One focuses on the truth about the food, the other focuses on maintaining harmony and kindness. Neither is wrong, they just reflect different values. On the other side of the spectrum, there is the idea of radical honesty. Radical honesty is the belief that people should always speak the full truth, no matter what. People who follow this approach share exactly what they think and feel without sugarcoating or avoiding difficult topics. While this approach can feel liberating because nothing is hidden, it can also come across as harsh or hurtful if the listener is not prepared for such blunt honesty. Radical honesty can strengthen some relationships, especially where both people value direct communication, but it can damage others if sensitivity and context are ignored. This shows that honesty is not just about telling the truth. It's also about understanding the situation, the person you're speaking to, and the cultural or social context. The goal of honesty should be connection, growth, and trust, not simply stating facts without considering the effect on others. Honest communication is a balance between truth and empathy, between being real and being kind. The key is knowing your intention. Are you being honest to help someone improve, to build trust, or to share your feelings respectfully? Or are you speaking truth without care, simply to show you are right? When honesty is combined with thoughtfulness, awareness, and compassion, it becomes a tool for stronger relationships, better understanding, and personal growth. The way honesty is expressed might change depending on the culture, the situation, or the person, but the underlying principle remains the same. Speak the truth in a way that builds trust, respect, and understanding. In the end, honesty is not just about what you say. It's about how, why, and when you say it. It's about balancing truth with empathy, directness with respect, and integrity with kindness. By practicing this balance, honesty can always be a positive force in your life and in the lives of those around you. Honesty can feel refreshing because nothing is hidden. When someone practices radical honesty, you always know where you stand. You know what they think and feel, and that openness can create strong trust. But at the same time, radical honesty can feel harsh. Words spoken without care, even if true, can hurt. The challenge is finding the right balance between being fully honest and being kind. There are two extremes. One is saving face, where people soften the truth to protect someone's feelings or reputation. This approach keeps peace, avoids embarrassment, and shows respect in social situations. But it can also prevent important truths from being shared. On the other side is radical honesty, where everything is said exactly as it is, without softening. This creates openness and authenticity, but without empathy, it can damage relationships. Most of us live somewhere in between these two extremes. We want to be honest, but we also want to be kind. We want to speak the truth in a way that helps others instead of hurting them. Choosing honesty thoughtfully is a skill, and it takes practice. Even within one culture or one family, people often see honesty differently. Some families value directness. They encourage saying exactly what you mean. Others value harmony and politeness. They encourage softening words to avoid conflict or hurting feelings. Take a moment to reflect on your own background. How is honesty viewed where you grew up? Do people speak openly and directly, or do they choose gentler words to protect feelings? When is it okay to be blunt, and when is it better to be polite? Thinking about these questions helps you understand your own style and how to communicate effectively with others. In today's global world, this skill is even more important. We meet and work with people from many different cultures, and understanding how honesty is expressed differently can prevent misunderstandings. It helps build stronger relationships. But this doesn't mean avoiding honesty. It means learning how to balance truthfulness with respect so that your words connect rather than divide. Being honest in this way means thinking carefully about how you express yourself. It might mean choosing your words more carefully. It might mean listening closely and paying attention to body language. It might mean pausing before responding to ensure that your honesty is helpful, not hurtful. This approach shows that honesty is not just about the facts you share, it's also about how you share them. In the end, honesty is a skill, not just a moral rule. It's about knowing when to speak, what to say, and how to say it in a way that respects both the truth and the feelings of others. When you combine honesty with kindness and awareness, it builds trust, strengthens relationships, and helps you communicate more effectively across different cultures and situations. Thoughtful honesty can guide your words, your actions, and your interactions, making connections deeper and more meaningful.